Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, this is ScrapMan bringing you another episode of Scrap Mechanic, and we are back in the Wings mod. Last time, we built this plane over there behind me, and I got some of your feedback in the comments, and I have improved it into this plane over here. In a second, we're going to go over what changes I made and look at the performance differences. But then the ultimate goal of this episode is we're going to try to take some more of your advice and actually make a working propeller plane. I really don't know how possible it is to have a completely propeller-powered plane, but I'm going to take some of the ideas that you had, put them to the test, and see if we can actually do it. All right, so let's take a look at what improvements I made. And remember, this is all thanks to the comments, the feedback that you gave me in the comments. Whoop. So the obvious difference is these wings, I mean, they looked kind of like, they looked big enough to me when I first made it, but clearly they aren't long enough. This looks much better. So that's the big difference. That's the first big difference is I extended the main wing. The next big difference you might see is the angle, the sitting angle of this one is pointing up a lot more. And that's because I took the back wheel and I just made it this tiny little thing as opposed to that. And this makes it much easier to do a ground takeoff, because before we kind of had to wait for it to bump up into the air before we could angle upwards. But this is actually making it much, much easier to just take off from the ground because our wings are already angled up into the air. The other change that I've made that's a little bit obvious to see is there's more thrust on it. Now, this is optional. I actually have two different buttons for each set of thrusters. So I can have just like a normal kind of cruising speed, and then I can have like a booster speed to help me get some extra lift and just extra maneuverability. However, it comes at a cost because when you bank at high speeds, the Wings mod kind of freaks out a little bit. You'll see what I mean. The next thing I did was I adjusted the way that the yaw works. So instead of it just having this entire vertical stabilizer turning on the bearings like that, I actually made it a stationary vertical stabilizer, and I added some end ailerons to drive the yaw. And I think that actually makes the yaw a little bit more effective, less side sliding, and more actual like turning ability. And the last major change I think I made is I actually put the main wing on a bearing right here, and I think I have it at like 5 degrees or something. No, 2 degrees. So I have this main wing pitched up by just 2 degrees. And what that does, it actually prevents my nose from diving down as much. Because before, if I just tried to drive straight, my nose would gradually dive down. But now it's a lot more stable, a lot more level. And it also depends on how fast I'm going. When I use all 4 thrusters, I actually tend to pitch up. When I use just 2 thrusters, I much more slowly start to pitch down. All right, so now let's see what this means for the actual craft here. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna get these things out of the way. So I'm gonna start with the old one, just so we have a baseline for how it used to work. And then we're gonna try give this one a go, and you can see the difference. All right, here we go. The original plane. Let's go ahead and just take off here. You can see I've been pitching up the whole time, and not till we get in the air are we able to take off. So now, if I just press straight, you can see how much I'm kind of just nosediving towards the ground there. But I mean, this thing, for all intents and purposes, it's pretty maneuverable. I was actually really proud of it. I was not disappointed with it at all. And then here, let's see how the yaw works now. So now if I turn right, you can see it pitches me a lot, and then we do the side sliding thing. And then when we let go, we straighten out a lot. So it has a lot of effect, but the net effect is very minimal because we just straighten ourselves back out. So now let's see if we can actually come right back in for a landing. I have no idea what to expect here, but we're gonna... Oh, that was weird. My pitch stopped working for a second, but actually it worked out pretty well. Uh-oh, 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 and there we go. So that wasn't a bad landing, was it? All right, so up next, we're gonna be checking out the new one, and we're gonna see how different that is. I will note as well that this actually has 2 additional seats in the back here. You can see we got one there and one there, so you can have passengers in this one as well. All right, let's go ahead and line ourselves up here. You can see the wingspan is definitely wider, so we're more prone to hit things. But here it goes. And I'm going to start pitching up now. And you can see we actually take off the ground before we even get to the edge here. So this one is obviously heavier. It's got more seats, it's got more wing stuff, but now check it out. I'm just pressing forward now, and you can see our nose tilting down is much less extreme. Here, let's go ahead and turn ourselves back this way. And now if I hit the boost, or I'm just pressing forward, not using my pitch or roll at all, and I hit the boost, and you can see now there's a slight upward a slight upward curve as we go faster. And now when we are going faster, check out what happens when we bank. That happens when we bank. So too much speed, not the best thing, but it definitely helps us if you slow down a lot. Like say if you're trying to go up, and you can see we kind of like start stalling out a little bit, but you can actually use the boost to give yourself some extra momentum there. All right, let's go ahead and just dive right back down. So yeah, this is just overall a lot better. Here, let's try out the yaw now. All right, we're gonna flatten out a little bit. Now let's go ahead and use the yaw. And you can see it's a lot more subtle, but I think it's actually a lot more effective. It's not as extreme. It's not nearly as extreme, and it really helps us out, especially if you're banking just a little bit. The yaw really helps the bank. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with this thing. And as you can see, like we have the guns and stuff. We can still fly upside down. Like all the other functions are pretty well established, and I'm pretty happy with it. So now let's try to come back in for a landing with this one as well. See if we can do as good as the first one. All right, here we go. Now, the cool thing about this one, because of the bigger wingspan, is you can actually go slower while still keeping your trajectory or your angle up. So look at that. That was beautiful. And then we can just go back to WASD to turn. Now, a lot of you were making comments asking me why I don't just use a WASD converter for my flight controls. Why do I use all these complicated buttons? And the reason is because there's nothing more responsive than pure button connection. When you use WASD converters, even like the modded WASD converters, there is more of a delay between pressing the button and then having it perform as action. I actually have my buttons mapped out so that 1, 2, 3, and 4 are T, G, F, and H. So it's pretty much WASD on my keyboard, but just shifted over into the middle. So it's just as easy for me to for me to fly. All right, so now let's see if we can make this thing propeller powered. I'm gonna tell you my idea that I think is pretty much like the really only thing I can think that might work. If anything is gonna work, this idea will work. And I'm gonna use this as my foundation, as my base design. We're gonna build off of this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of a lot of the weight because we want this thing to be as light as possible. So I'm getting rid of the seats. I'm getting rid of those extra thrusters. We're gonna fill it in with light cardboard. And I am not gonna actually have the propellers on the front here. And just to address, a lot of you were saying, why did I make the propellers rotate in opposite directions on the front? I had like one propeller here. I can't even do this. Like, let's just pretend that you know what I mean. I had one propeller there, and then I had another propeller here, and I had them rotating in the same direction. And the reason being is that if I have this rotating one direction and this rotating the another direction, all that's going to happen to this front one is it's not going to move because the spin of this one will cancel out the front one. So if you want to have stacked propellers that are going to be rotating in opposite directions, they can't be dependent on each other with these bearings. Otherwise, they're just going to cancel each other out. So that's why I didn't do that, because it wouldn't work. So I'm not going to put it on the front here. What I'm going to do is actually a lot of you suggested, why don't I put the propellers on the wings? And I have one set of propellers rotating in one direction, one rotating the other direction. It'll remove the effect of the torque that the one in the front had. So what I'm thinking is we might have to extend our main wing a little bit more, because I think I'm going to do quad propellers. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 propellers. And all of those propellers I am also going to have on double bearings. So if 4 propellers on double bearings powered by electric motors doesn't get this thing fast enough to go up in the air, I just don't think propellers are a viable option for plane power. So whether this works or not, it's going to be interesting and probably entertaining to test it out. So now I'm trying to figure out what is going to be the best way of actually attaching these propellers onto here, especially with the double bearings. I'm thinking about just making like something like this and then just having a double bearing off of there. The other thing I'm going to do is, some of you mentioned in the comments that 45 degrees might have been too much of an angle and use the 30-degree ones. I think I'm going to try that. I asked Khan too. Khan said that he found that the 30-degree airfoils are better than the 45-degree ones. So we're going to use the 30-degree ones for these wings as well. All right, so we have one side down. Now these wings should rotate to the right, and that should provide us with forward force. I hope I have this hooked up right. And then this is my left wing. So if this rotates to the left, it should have forward force. My propeller is gone. Well, that's unfortunate. I didn't save that. Now I have to build it all over again. All right, here it is. 4 propeller plane. Now, the unfortunate thing is if I want to extend these propellers at all, I have to actually move these ones out a little bit. So I probably should have planned for that. But we're going to see if this works now. These are 5 segments long each. All right, so the only downside is that we have to add weight with electric engines. So hopefully this isn't going to make us too heavy. All right, and then these electric engines go on max power. So now I hope I have them hooked up right. Those ones spin left, those ones spin right, double bearinged up, all the bearings facing in the right direction. Engines are hooked up to the seat. Engines are on max power. I think that means that we're ready to go. So let's line ourselves up here, give ourselves a similar runway, and please work. Wouldn't it be great if just the first attempt works? I mean, that never happens in my videos, but, well, I mean, occasionally it does, and then we celebrate, but usually it takes a lot of attempts, and we just fail for a little while. All right, here we go. Oh, look at those. Those are gonna go fast. This is not feeling good. I am not feeling confident in this already. What is this? Wait, I don't even want to take off right now. Like, that is just ridiculous. That is ridiculous how slow those go. That is max power. Oops. Oh, we're going off now. It's too late. We're at... I knew I was going to regret putting that tree there. I mean, I didn't actually put it there, but I chose this runway. All right, so it appears that this is clearly not the way to use propellers in this mod. I don't know. I still want to give it a chance. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take off in the air without the propellers. I'm going to just use my normal thrust. Hopefully we can take off because I think the propellers might add a decent amount of weight. Oh, we do not have a lot of thrust. Oh, we might have added too much weight. And that's one thing I didn't think about is how much do these propellers even weigh? All right, let's use both. Oh, there we go. Propeller power with thruster power works. So we have like a pseudo propeller plane right now, but what happens if we turn off the electric engine? I mean, the thrusters. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I have another idea. This actually might work. Maybe gas engines are just better at powering these things. I think gas engines can make them rotate faster, but gas engines you can't utilize double bearings with. However, what if we keep the first bearing an electric engine, and then we add a gas engine to that one? Then I think the gas engine might be multiplied by the electric engine. So that might actually give us the most bang for our buck with double bearings. All right, there we have it. Gas engine is now on max power. So let's see if this is any faster. And I don't really have a good spot to take off here. Does that look any faster to you? Doesn't feel like it's going to be doing much, to be honest. All right, and blast off. Come on. Come on. What is this? What is this? Why don't these work? Why are propellers so bad? I really thought that this might work. I mean, we've doubled up the bearings. We have 4 propellers going. Like, it's useless. It's useless. Here, let's take off with the thrust. Maybe they're just too heavy. Like, look at that. I have nothing. I have no speed at all. It's like they just don't do anything. You know what? Let's just try it. We're gonna try. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe everybody was wrong about 30 degrees. Let's replace all of these propellers with 45-degree propellers instead. Okay, here it is. 45-degree propellers. Is this going to be better than the normal just 30-degree propellers? And 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, this actually does feel better. This actually feels better, doesn't it? I don't know. Here, let's get up in the air because we clearly can't take off with this. All right, can we sustain ourselves in the air with these 45-degree propellers? All right, we're going. Oh, it's like almost there. I have another idea. Oh, look at our shadow. Our shadow looks awesome. I have another idea. What I'm going to do now is double up the propellers. So I'm not going to add another bearing in between. I'm just going to make it so that these bearings propel 2 sets of propellers. So that means it's just welding one right onto the end of that. So there we go. That should theoretically just provide more propulsion. All right, there it is, all doubled up. So let's hope that this makes a difference. I really don't see why it wouldn't. Now remember, this isn't actual aerodynamics that's happening here. There are no wind physics going on. Like, we're not pushing air. So they're not going to interfere with each other as far as like fluid dynamics of air going through the propellers. So that I don't think that should matter. Whoa. Okay, now something really weird's happening. Oh, yep, that was my fault. I accidentally disconnected these ones. Yep, that was all me. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa! Oh, I see the issue. I see the issue now. All right, here, let's get up in the air. I think because the propellers are above my center of mass, I think they might almost have enough. It's just that they're too high. I really think that's the only issue, is that they're too high above my center of mass. Because look at how much faster this is. Like, I feel like we're so close. It's just we don't have enough, like, lift. See, it just wants to nose me down into the ground. Come on. Get up. Get up in the air. All right, like, this is okay. We're doing okay right now, but we have the thruster power going on. Let's see what happens if we try to level ourselves off in the air. All right, now no more thruster power. Man, it really, I have full pitch back right now, and it wants to nosedive me so bad. All right, so that's the issue right now. I'm gonna save this right now because I'm about to do some crazy modifications to this thing. And I'm hoping I can really make this a shortcut without losing my bearings and without losing any of this stuff. I just have to make the connections again. So let me remember what I'm doing here. So now, in order to preserve the entirety of the wings, I'm going to completely detach the wing. Oh, I hope this works. Oh, all right, there goes that one. All right, and there goes that one. We have completely detached the wings from the fuselage. Now we have a wingless aircraft, and now I'm just gonna figure out, do I want to attach them to the middle or the bottom? I feel like the middle might be the best bet. How do we want? Oh no, are the blades gonna go into the ground? It's gonna be close. It is gonna be really close. All right, I'm putting it right there. Okay, the wings have been welded. Now it's just a matter of hooking everything up the right way. I hope I can remember this. And now I think we've successfully, oh, look at the wings. They're almost touching the ground. I mean, the propellers, they're almost touching the ground. I think we've successfully moved our center of thrust with the propellers, hopefully closer to our center of mass. I really hope this works. This kind of looks interesting. I was actually surprised that we were able to do that. I mean, I'm not going to speak too soon because we don't know if it actually works yet. I just don't know what to expect. I don't even know if these are strong enough on their own if we have it aligned with our center of mass. Here's our test. I feel like the Wright brothers right now. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, now take off. Please take off. Please take off. Please take. Okay. All right. We have to use some thrust assist. We have to use some. No, get off of that tree. All right. Thrust assist. Thrust assist. Assist the thrust. Use the thrust. All right. Whoa. I did not think about how the aerodynamics would be completely changed now that my wings are all different. I think everything's hooked up right, though. All right, now let's just go pure propeller power. To be honest, it's not terrible. It's not good, but it's not terrible. It still wants to tilt us forward just a little bit. But it does not give us enough lift. I mean, enough velocity in order to get our lift. Like, I feel like it's faster on the ground than it is in the air. I have one final resort. And that final resort is triple propellers. I'm gonna triple them up now. I was gonna say, don't ask me why, but the reason is obvious. I mean, more propellers. I'm just betting on more velocity. Okay, the propellers have been just completely tripled up. I really don't know if this is gonna make it better. Theoretically, it should. I just don't got my hopes up. All right, and we are back. Our propellers are tripled up. I'm ready for this. Are you ready for this? Let's do it. In 3, 2, 1, forward. Oh, look at this speed. Look at this speed. No, not the thing again. Hold on. We're using our thrust. All right. Go. Go. It's just propellers right now. Oh, it is so close. All right, let's get up in the air. Let's see if we can maintain altitude once we actually. Taking off is just hard because you have to fight against gravity. But let's see if we can level off and maintain altitude without thrust. All right, turning the thrust off now. Guys, we're really close. I think if we quadruple up our propellers, I think we're onto something here. I think we just got to keep adding propellers till this works. Look how much closer we are. This is so much closer. All right, let's go and go in for a super nice landing. However, because we're going so slow, our roll is extremely subtle. Roll is very hard to control right now with those thin ailerons. All right, let's see. There we go. All right, we're gonna quad up our propellers. It shouldn't be too hard. And there we go. This looks perfectly... No, wait, what? Hold up, what? Dude, how did that get an extra one? Why is that one sticking? How did this happen? Okay, we'll just pretend like I didn't make that mistake. All right, this looks perfectly normal, right? This is how planes work. All right, if this doesn't work, I was gonna say nothing will, but the other part of my mind wants to say, add more propellers. It's been helping so far, right? All right, here we go. I want to take off with some propellers now. That's weird. It doesn't do anything at first. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Open the throttle. It takes like a second for it to work. Oh, come on. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. Get up. Go. Look at this. We're flying. This feels totally like a Wright Brothers moment. All right, I'm using the thrust now because I think we just have to get off the ground first. All right, now, purely propeller power. Can we maintain it? Can we maintain altitude? Come on. Why are we going like this? What is... That was weird. We were like side sliding a little bit. Am I uneven somewhere? Look, here's just thrust. Actually, our thrust isn't even enough anymore. Here's just propeller. I think our propeller is better than our thrust. But I think we need both of them because of how much weight we've added in just propellers on this thing. That is an interesting result. All right, come on, just propeller power. You could do it. Oh, we're so close. You know what? There's only one option left. Quitting is not an option. The only option left is another set of propellers. That's really all we can do right now. This thing is gonna look so weird. All right, here it is. We've got 5 sets of propellers on each bearing. This is just getting absurd. All right, and go. Come on, lift up. Ooh. Oh, we found it. We found the sweet spot. 5 propellers. It's just really hard to stay up in the air. We're fighting it so hard right now. Oh, we're doing it. We are so doing it. A propeller-powered plane. They told me I couldn't do it. Actually, they told me I could, but I told them that I didn't think I could. I told me I couldn't do it, but I proved myself wrong. Okay, I do have to use thruster assist to really get myself up there, though. But man, this just makes it so much harder to actually use any type of turning. Oh no, we're going down. We're going down. Stop going down. Like, I can't turn. I keep wanting to drift for some reason. I don't know why it is, but I'm gonna say, obviously, propeller-powered vehicles, air vehicles at least. Well, you could use a propeller-powered ground vehicle, obviously, but a propeller-powered air vehicle is completely impractical with the current state of the Wings mod. So I don't know why that is. I mean, maybe we could use like the big wings, but then that would just look ridiculous. I mean, this was a fun experiment. Look at how ridiculous this thing looks. It was a fun experiment, but it's just, you just gotta put too much. You just gotta put way too much on here to really get any practical use out of the propellers. Like, I'm barely keeping afloat. Barely. I can. That's not good. All right, well, I'm going to call this a partial success. I think it's successful for, we did what we could with what we were working with, but we just can't get a satisfactory final product. And for some reason, it keeps wanting to drag me to the right. I don't know why. But we got up in the air. We can maintain some level of altitude, but obviously, it's not the most ideal for flying. So I think thrusters are the way to go for winged planes right now. So I think I'm going to stick with that. But either way, now you know. A lot of you are asking in the comments, do the propellers this way, do the propellers that way. And now we've tried it. I hope you're satisfied. I hope that your curiosity has been satiated. Leave some comments down below, letting me know what other stuff you want to see for either the Wings mod, the Spud Guns update, a combination of them. And don't forget to let me know what your favorite part of this episode was. I always like it when people leave timestamps to their favorite parts down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. This has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.